Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Citrix ShareFile Best Practices for Accounting webinar. We are going to make sure in this 30-minute webinar that you guys understand the most common practices for your industry. A quick introduction. My name is Christina Ritter, and that's our wonderful team you see out on our rooftop patio at work. I'm a customer success manager who is a part of the Cloud Adoption Services team. We are based in Raleigh, North Carolina. As I mentioned, this will be about a 30-minute training to get you guys up and running for your very busy tax season. We are going to go and do an overview of all the best common practices, and then I'll be demoing the features in my own account and covering a recap of those business outcomes at the end, followed by sharing our key resources and just which resources to use to get the best help that you're looking for. Before we start, let's take a look at our ShareFile momentum. We have been picking up so much speed lately with 65,000 customers in countries all over the world. So you are a part of a very large community and you're in very good hands. So an accounting overview. I'm going to show you guys how to securely exchange your tax files with your clients. How to keep your business compliant with data breach laws and IRS regulations. And no matter what tax software you use, whether it is QuickBooks, UltraTax, Lacert, or Pro Series, we have tools that will make it so that ShareFile is not an extra step, but just a seamless integration for your workflow. Again, the idea is to work smarter, not harder, so this should make things quicker and easier. What does this all mean? It's no more wasted costs on paper and ink, so you can just go paperless. And next up, no more driving to client destination. So if you have had to actually get in the car and head down the road to pick up a tax file from your client because you don't feel safe enough emailing it or sending it actually in post, you can avoid that. And if you have been mailing documents, going to the post office, paying for a stamp, paying for the cost of post, you can avoid that as well. So we are going to be switching into my live demo, and I'll pull up my ShareFile account for you. Here we are. I'll get signed in with your email and your unique password, and make sure you are using your company's unique web address that you can have branded. Taking us in here to the dashboard of the account. So the first thing I'd like to show you, which it would be a best practice for accountants, is to use your ShareFile account as a client portal. So here's what I mean by that. I know a lot of you guys email back and forth, have a lot of in-person meetings with paper exchange, and to replace that would be the client ShareFile folder portal. You can add all of your users and all of your clients for free as ShareFile client users and set up a folder for each one of them like I've done. This is very private and secure, and each user only sees their respective folder. You have access to everything for easy online exchange of files, and as long as they have internet, they can get to their files as well. Now, a huge perk to a ShareFile client portal as opposed to emailing is that clients will no longer need to come to you and say, will you email me another copy of that client, of that 8879? I lost it in my inbox, and then you need to go take the time to resend that. With the folder portal, they can access their file 24/7. They don't need to search their inbox or send box via email. It is just in here permanently. So to add all of your clients into your ShareFile account, you first would come to your People tab, and then your Manage Users Home, and create all of your client base as client users. Now these guys are free and they're unlimited, so even if you have 1,000 or above client base, you can add them all here. I would definitely avoid adding them individually though, because that would be very grueling time-wise. So instead, add them from an Excel spreadsheet. You can download the template here, and this is what it looks like. You add all of your clients as in their email addresses in column A, names in columns B and C, and then a company if you'd like to associate a company with them, you can. And then leave the password column blank, and they will be able to create their own password upon login. We even have instructions here to export all of their email addresses from Outlook and make it much faster to fill out that Excel document. And then you go ahead and add that Excel sheet here. So once all of the users are added, you can set up the folders for them. So hopping back over to my client portal here, you can see I have everyone listed in alphabetical order and folders of last name, comma, first name. This just keeps easy organization for you guys. So the best way to go about the client portal is to create a root level folder first and then create all of your clients as subfolders. And I say that as opposed to creating all of your clients as their own root level folders. This way, if you need to add a colleague to have access to all the clients, you only need to add them once at this level, and that will trickle down and give them access to all of your tens or hundreds or maybe thousands of client folders instead of having to manually add people to each. Again, but that being said, my clients only see the one folder I added them to. So here they all are. Now let's say that I need to add a brand new folder here. I will come, click Create Folder, and go ahead and give it a name. Oops. All right, I will click Create Folder. And I've already got that name. Let me go ahead and type in his middle name here. All right, now I will click Create Folder, and there it is. I can go ahead and browse the file that I need to add for him. So maybe it's a sensitive 8879. I'll go ahead and upload. And now it's time to add him to the folder. So I went ahead and took care of this step by adding my colleague Ashley to the folder, because she does need access to this folder as well to help manage all my client files. And now it's time to add John. So I'll click Add People to Folder, search for John. There he is. And at this point, I can assign the folder permissions I want him to have, or I can click Add and then adjust those permissions then. So download and upload are the default. That is best to leave those. That way there's two-way collaboration of files between you and the client. I do not recommend giving your clients the ability to delete or to be a folder admin. Being a folder admin would give them the right to share the folder with anybody they want. They would be able to manage the permissions of everyone in the folder and create subfolders. So leave these permissions to internal trusted colleagues. But I do recommend giving your clients upload alerts. That way when you add a file to the folder, we will email them for you saying that there's new content in their folder, click here to access it. That way you don't need to upload the file and then still worry about notifying them of it. So I'll click Add at this point, and there's my client right here. Now you'll notice I said that Ashley was a colleague, so she is an employee user. Now they look the same once they're in the folder. So once you're created as a user and added to a folder, you appear the same. You appear equal in terms of permissions. But you'll notice I gave my colleague Ashley the right to delete. I can also make her an admin, and that does not affect what John can do. So each user is totally separate in terms of permissions and in terms of access points. So just because you add one person with certain rights, it does not mean the other person has to have those. So at this rate, John would be notified that he has a file in the folder. He could come in and download it, or he could come in and upload a new file back into the folder. So two-way exchange of information, 24/7 access with internet. Now another piece of the ShareFile client portal is that there are folder templates that you can apply. Now I just clicked into a client's folder and you'll see there are an 8879 folder and a tax year folder. And if I go a step further and click into the tax year folder, I have it broken down by year. And that's because this is a folder template that I created so that every time I create a new client, I apply this template for better file organization. So all of my client folders have that same structure thanks to the folder template. So the folder templates belong actually in your settings in the admin settings. And one step further, they are hidden in advanced preferences right here. Now you can create as many templates as you need based on the types of folders and structures you're looking for. The accounting template is what you just saw with the 8879 and tax year. But you simply click Create New, you give it a name, and pretend that this is the folder that you want to apply a template to, and from there you can build the structure as needed. When you're done, you click Finish, and then you come right in here and click Apply Template to Folder. Now you can either just apply it to one singular folder, or like I did, I applied mine to my entire client portal. So if you have a root level folder with many subfolders inside of it, by applying the template to the root level, like clients, it automatically applies the template to all of your subfolders at once. So if I had 400 clients and I did this one-click apply button, all 400 of my clients would now have my very organized folder template structure. So I definitely recommend everyone considering adding all of their clients as free ShareFile client users, allowing them to have a unique safe password to log in and view only their files with the exact permissions that you choose. Now at any point, I can click into any client folder. I can click back into the People tab and adjust the permissions. So nothing is permanent. Feel free to explore a little bit and change your mind down the road. Now the other main piece you'll probably use ShareFile for is secure emailing. And I know that many of you guys are in the Outlook email client. So come to your apps page here in the upper right-hand corner. And if you use a Windows version of Outlook that is locally installed, you can download the Outlook plugin, and that would then install ShareFile icons into your Outlook, enabling this integration between the two, so that you would be able to email securely back and forth with your clients right out of Outlook. So even if you do want to set up the ShareFile client portal, you may still have random, one-off documents that you need to send. So do it using what we call the plugin. Now the plugin options here allow you to configure the exact security and notification settings that you need. So within General, you can control when your Outlook wants to send ShareFile attachments, how long you want those attachments to remain active for, and in the Attaching File section, you can control the security that you want. For accounting, we know we are sending probably the most sensitive data you possibly can, so I would recommend a sign-in. This means that your recipients need to create a unique password to enter, so that on top of the encryption that we're using, there's a password that they'll need to know. And this just serves so that they can authenticate their identity when clicking download. But to reiterate, we still are sending all ShareFile attachments at 256-bit encryption. So it is still extremely secure. So even if you chose just name and email address, there would still be that same level of encryption. You can also control every level of notification. So if you want to be emailed when they download your file, or if you want to be emailed when clients upload a file to you, you can do that as well. So not only can we attach, but we're getting into the request section here. You can request a secure file from your client, even if they don't pay for their own ShareFile account. So feel free to adjust all of your security settings here, as well as for encrypted email, which allows you to encrypt the body of the email that you send, not just the file. Now let me actually show you here so that this can fully sink in, and usually it makes much more sense once you watch it. So within my normal emails here, I have a green paperclip to attach files, an ability to request files, or the ability on the left-hand side here to encrypt the body of my email. So let's do one of each. To attach a sensitive file, I can upload it from my computer or from a ShareFile folder. For this demo, I'll just go ahead and grab a tax 8879 file here from my computer, and there it is. So as soon as you see that ShareFile attachment image, that is what it should look like, and that's what the recipient will see as well. It is secure and ready to be sent, and the recipient would click download here to be brought to the safe version of their file that you sent. You can type above it or below it as needed, and you can incorporate more than one ShareFile feature into the same email. So if I need them to download this file and sign it, I can always click up here in the upper right on Request Files and provide them with this safe link here to upload it back to me. So this link is just built in for you when you download the Outlook plugin, and it's tied to your ShareFile account. So anyone that you send this link to now has the ability to safely upload a file back. When they click the link, they'll be prompted to upload and submit, and when they do that, you'll get an email notification with a link to their tax file that they sent back to you. So that covers sending and requesting attachments, but what happens if you don't need to worry about an attachment, but you just need to type an email with sensitive information? Oops. Hi, John. What is your Social Security number? Now, that's obviously very sensitive info, so I'm going to come up here and click the lock on. Now it says encryption on, and that means that not only is my email, the body of it, encrypted, but John is going to get the email and be allowed to type back an encrypted message. So he can say, hi Christina, my Social Security number is 11111, or whatever it may be. So this encryption lock allows for two-way secure collaboration. Now, to start fresh with a new email again, you'll notice in the bottom of my signature, I have a request a file link. This way, 24/7, my clients have access to a safe sending method. All they need to do is search an old email from me, scroll to the bottom, look in my signature, and click this link to upload something. This way, they don't have to bug you every time for the request a file link, and they're not waiting on you to email it over. So I recommend all accountants do this. To set it up, you come into your new email just like this, go over to Request a File, click Use Custom Settings. The reason being, we need to make it so that this link never expires. So change this drop-down to say Never, and then configure the other settings to your liking, but we need to make sure this link remains active in your email signature. So now you click OK. Feel free to adjust any of the wording of the sentence to make your clients feel safe and comfortable with the link. Click Copy, come right on up here into your signature, and you can paste it in wherever you think is noticeable. So there mine is. Once you click OK, that will be in every email you send henceforth. And that is the Outlook plugin, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone does not have Outlook, you can always email securely from your ShareFile dashboard by clicking on Share Files if you need to send tax documents out, or Request Files if you need to receive documents. And our ShareFile 101 webinar goes into both of those for you. So additionally, on our apps page, again in the upper right-hand corner, we've seen Outlook, but we have other tools such as Sync, Desktop App, Drive Mapper, Print to ShareFile, and our ShareFile 201 webinar goes into all of these apps for you. But a main one that I find particularly useful for accountants is Print to ShareFile. This is a virtual printer that basically acts as a saved to PDF so that you can upload it from any tax software you use into your ShareFile account. So for example, let's say I'm inside of UltraTax or QuickBooks, and let's pretend this is a real client 8879. Obviously, I don't have any client info on here for the sake of privacy, but let's pretend it's a real 8879, that's in QuickBooks that I need to upload to a client folder. I'll download the Print to ShareFile app and then click File Print. And I will change my printer to make sure it says Citrix Print to ShareFile. And now I will actually click Print. This is not going to print out a paper copy to your printer. It is just triggering the virtual Print to ShareFile printer. This window will pop up, and you can adjust the name of the file if you need to, and then go ahead and choose the client folder that you need. So I will scroll down to John Smith's folder, select it, and I can just click Upload. And straight out of QuickBooks or whatever software you are using as a document management system, it gets sent directly into that folder. Additionally, I can email it right out of my tax software. So even if you do use Outlook, but you just want to send a really quick, safe attachment out of UltraTax, you can use the Print to ShareFile to do so. And finally, you can send this $88.79 off for e-signature, which means signing it online. No more printing, writing with pen, and scanning or faxing back into the computer. You just click Send for Signature, and it's going to log you in to your e-signature tool, convert your image for you to a PDF, and then you would be able to click Prepare Document and email it over for them to sign with their fingertip. It's just so easy. If anyone does not have our e-signature tool, please refer back to our website to learn more. We're calling it Right Signature, but it just integrates beautifully and is a part of the ShareFile package. All right, hopping back over into ShareFile. That covers the apps that I think are truly helpful, but again, please feel free to download any you see that look like they could make something a little faster or easier for you. We have recently created a brand new feature just for accountants called Request List. So we know that as CPAs or auditors, you guys have tons of documents that you need to gather from clients, and it can be a painstaking process. So we created our own provided by client list or request list built into ShareFile, and it is in the Feedback and Approvals tab. Now for accountants, I recommend that you create these request lists right in your client portal just to keep the organization easy. So let's say my new client here, John Smith, has about 20 files that I need to request from him to perform an audit of some sort. I would come to the green button, click Request List, and it's going to open up this new panel where I can generate this request list. Again, this is so that I don't have to email back and forth. Will you send me, you know, this document, and this document? So the request list will allow you to gather all of these files in one place and keep track of whether or not they've sent you everything you need that you requested. So now I will call this John's request list for audit. If you need to add another admin to this, think of this if you're doing a massive audit for a huge company like Tesla, and there's a CFO or another point of contact at that company that can help you delegate all of these request items out, you can always add them here. Or if you just want to be in charge of gathering all of these, you'd click Create. And we're brought to the Unpublished taskbar. Everything that you work on in here is not yet public, so think of it as your editing place. Now, from John, I need quite a few things, so I'm going to create these tasks either manually one by one or import them all from an Excel. And we know that Excel is a common way for you guys to keep track of all of your requests, so this way it integrates very easily. I'll show you both, though. So first, create a task manually. Set the due date that you want the file by. Set a description of what it is you need from them. So I need support for the accounts receivable samples. I can even upload a document if they need an idea of what that support should be. I can set the category here. This might be cash, debit, check, and then you add the person that you need it from. This person does not need to be a ShareFile user in any way, so feel free to type in whatever the name may be and assign it. Now, when I'm ready, I'll check the box and click Publish. This Publish button would mean that the assignee will get an email with a link asking them to upload whatever description you programmed in here, and they'll have a link to upload it. So I'll publish it. You'll notice it went from my unpublished to my published tasks. There it is. Now let's go ahead and import from Excel first. So this is so you can upload many requests at once. I'll browse my computer and upload the, I'm going to call it a PBC list here. And I've got all of my documents that I routinely need from people, so I'll open it. And it's asking us here to map my Excel columns to the request list categories. So what is the description of the file that I'm requesting? Now, in Excel, that happens to be column B, so I'll map it. What is the category of the type of document? So I will map it again. And maybe I'll map over the due date. Now, your Excel document may not have all of these lined up and matching, so just match the ones that you can. Any that do not line up, you can always fill out within request list. So I'll run the import, and you can see how much faster this was than creating all of these one by one. So I've updated all the descriptions of the files I need, the category, debt versus cash, but I still need to program the assignee. Now, if these go to separate people, I can edit these one by one or check multiple of the items at once. In this scenario, I'm just going to say that all of these need to go to the same person, so I'll check the box for all, come here to bulk edit, and I'm going to check the assignee box to bulk assign all of these to that same client of mine. Click Save, and look here in the assignee column, all of these for Katniss have just been applied. And so now, as soon as I click Publish, she is going to be notified of all of these tasks. But don't worry, it just goes out in one email message, not in 20 separate emails. So what does this look like to your client? Great question. Let's hop over here. I'm logging in as my client, Katniss, and this is the email she'll get. Katniss, this is a polite reminder that there are tasks pending your attention. So now, at this point, she will click Complete Tasks, and she will be brought to a window that asks her to update any of these line items. So she has already, in this scenario, submitted a year-end bank statement for me, updated the attached bank account, but she can come into any that still require her upload, browse the file, grab the document that her accountant is asking for, and upload it. Now, off to the right here, she can mention her accountant, which in this scenario is me, and say, please review line 12 of the file. Any questions or comments they have, she can leave. There she is asking me a question, and submit it for review. Now at this point, she can click Next and be brought to the following line item that I'm asking her for, which in this case is outstanding checks at year end. So what does this look like back in the accounting perspective in your ShareFile account? Here I am back in my published tasks, and you can see there is a circle next to every single description of the file I'm requesting. If my client has uploaded the file, it will have a green ring around the circle with a check mark. That means they've uploaded it, but I have not yet approved the file. This top one here means they've uploaded it and I've approved it. So let's take a look at the one that's been uploaded but not yet approved. I'll check the box and click View the Details. So over here, I can come to actually download the file that she sent. And when you check the Comments and Activity panel, this is where the comments would be if your clients have asked you any questions. Now, if you're thinking that might be easy to miss, we will email you if someone has submitted a comment here in this panel. So I've downloaded the file, let's say, everything looks great. I can come up here and click Approve. If it's not the file that I'm looking for or it's missing some information, I would just click Request Changes. Let's approve it. Katniss did a great job. You can see the circle is now filled in green, and I can easily tell by looking at this list what I still am waiting on. So not only does it store all of my clients' files in one easy list, but it's super easy on the eyes to see what I'm still waiting on. Now let's pretend that Katniss in the next hour uploads everything I need. I can check all the boxes and do a bulk download of all the files. So maybe you need to put these in a folder on your computer, or you want to get them into a folder on ShareFile. You can download the files based on any of these organizational structures we have offered, by category, by assignee, and click Download. All of these attachments will go to one folder or a certain number of folders, as you choose, on your computer. And you can always upload that folder into a ShareFile folder that you'd like, or store it on your server, whatever works best. So again, Request List is a way for you to easily request many files at once from someone. Keep track of what they've submitted and what you've approved or requested changes on, and upload these requests one at a time, or by using that Excel upload as many hundreds as you need. This is a lot of info, but don't forget you can always go back and rewatch anything you'd like. So that closes out the demo for you. Let's do a quick recap of your business outcomes. You can save time by creating a client portal as a secure central hub, allowing you to grow the numbers of your client base, because it will be faster and easier for you to not have to email back and forth. If you have clients that don't want a portal, or if you still need to send random files out securely, do that using the Outlook plugin and gain your clients' trust by using the highest industry standard of encryption. Provide your clients with secure upload links so that they can send you files safely, not just you to them. And use our permissions to get and give real-time notifications of file activity. So we covered creating a client portal, emailing securely, creating secure upload links, integrating print to ShareFile, and request lists. From here, if you need additional help, use this link for signing up for live trainings, and we should have links on this website here for you to be able to get additional training. This knowledge base is very helpful with articles with amazing screenshots and step-by-step processes. And we have a technical support team that you can call for free 24/7 at this number, who will be able to assist you with any sort of technical needs or questions in your account. We do break down our help into 3 categories, the first being a rollout assistance. Now, your customer success manager, like me, will be able to help administer all of your rollout practices, end user training, deployment planning of how to roll it out. And your sales manager should provide you with the links to sign up for those trainings. Now, when things break and need fixing, which on occasion happens with technology, that tech support team I mentioned, again, here's their number. They are your best 24/7 helpline for these quick fixes you need addressed. Finally, we encourage self-service. We have many configuration guides and webinar series, just like this one you sat through, that are hugely helpful. So you may not even need to book a meeting or call the helpline. Use this link here for online support, and use this here to view any of our other webinars. On that note, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you've learned a few workflows now that will make your life easier and more efficient. May the next tax season be a breeze for you. Thank you so much for attending. Take care.